Welcome to Haunted by Horror, where every season is horror movie season. Today I'm going to be doing my first ever ranking of a franchise in my channel's history. So I'm really excited to do this. It's going to be on Terrifier. Now, I have not watched All Hallows Eve yet, so I can't put that movie on the ranking, but based on what everyone else is doing, they're putting it pretty much last. It'll probably be last there for me. Not saying it's bad or good because I haven't seen it, but it'll probably be somewhere down there for me. My number 3 is going to be the original Terrifier. Now, I do like this movie quite a bit, but it's really just because of the gore and the special effects. I think they're awesome in this. The beheading scene and the hacksaw scene obviously are standouts, and the decapitation scene might be my favorite decapitation in a movie just because of how good it looked. And that's including all of the rest of the decapitations in this franchise. But what I don't like about this movie on this most recent rewatch, I've only seen the movie twice, the story really is not there, which is something I heard about before watching this movie, but it's really not. You could sum it up in two drunk girls are leaving a bar and they run into Art the Clown, more bodies show up, and more people get killed. That's literally it. That's the movie. As a proof of concept, I really do love the gore and the special effects in here. I am someone who absolutely champions special effects. Evil Dead 2013 is my favorite in the special effects and gore category, for me personally. But again, the story isn't really there, so really I could just see myself just rewatching really the hacksaw kill and the beheading scene on YouTube, and that's about it. So I do like this movie, as I said, but it's definitely number 3 on my list. Now, I've watched a few rankings from people that I watch on YouTube already, and I see them a lot of them are putting Terrifier 3 at number 2 and Terrifier 2 at number 1. Surprisingly, guys, I'm going to actually flip the script a little bit. My number 2 is going to be Terrifier 2. Now, I also love this movie. But the thing that sets this movie apart from the third one, obviously, is there is a story. It introduces Sienna, introduces her brother Jonathan, and the mother, who I honestly cannot stand in this movie and absolutely love her death scene. But the bedroom kill, believe it or not, I've watched it multiple times. Yes, that's how much I actually love gore in movies. And it is, I don't want to say it's phenomenal because that sounds really messed up, but like, it's just brutal. When I first saw it, I just could not believe it. Probably the nastiest long kill that I've personally seen in a movie. But the story of Sienna being like this not really this war hero, but a character that her dad had created for her, because the movie introduces, the visions that he had of people dying in the first movie and Art the Clown. So that really intrigued me when I first watched this, and obviously before this new one came out. But that really intrigued me, like I was really wondering, like that's an interesting idea when the first one really had no story. But this one obviously does. And yes, Lauren Rivera is excellent in this movie. She's awesome. Never heard of her until this movie, and I'm glad this movie gave her to us because she's just phenomenal in this, and she looks great in the outfit that she wears. I'm just going to call it the Valkyrie outfit for right now. I really cannot say enough about the story about this one. It's really good. And the gore and the kills. When I first saw this movie about 2 years ago, I didn't see it in theaters, unfortunately, but I would tell you then that it's the goriest horror movie that I've ever seen personally. And that's probably true. I mean, I love Evil Dead 2013. It's still my favorite as of right now. But, I mean, the gore in this is just, it's next level. I mean, it really is, and they just keep hitting you with it and keep hitting you with it. Each scene is intense, and you're just like wondering, how is he going to dispatch these people? You watch the hacksaw kill, and you're just like, how are they going to outdo that? Well, let's have him just absolutely massacre one human being for a couple minutes. Like, I can't say enough about this movie. I do really love this movie, but it is going to be my number 2, which leaves my number 1 as Terrifier 3. And I think the real reason why I put this movie at number 1, besides the other things I'm about to talk about, is the gore and the special effects in this movie. I don't know how they didn't just get people to get on set who just were willing to get massacred on screen. That's how real this shit looks. Okay? The shower scene, I mean, spoilers at this point, the shower scene, chainsaw to the butt. I mean, damn, what a way to go out. So, and that character was actually kind of nice and understanding, so I actually felt bad for him. The girl could probably do without, but she gets her comeuppance in the end. But basically, the real reason why I think this movie, or what I think for me puts it above the second one, is the Christmas aesthetic. Me personally, when you take something that's supposed to be happy or has a happy memory with you, whether you were a kid or not, Say something like Winnie the Pooh. That's the perfect example. I actually championed that movie because I wanted to see my childhood stuffed animals, the characters that I grew up with as a kid, because I'm 29 right now, be horror movie slashers. And I hated that first movie. This was the goriest horror film that I've seen in a theater. And I just love the Christmas aesthetic. It's supposed to be a jolly happy time, and Art the Clown has a jolly happy time. I mean, it's shot really well. I think it did a good enough job at continuing the story, even though I think the story in the second one is stronger. I think they did a good job at planting more seeds of the story, finding out about her dad, and basically seeing how he got the visions that he gets. It's really the Christmas aesthetic and the gore. And Art the Clown, I haven't even mentioned him yet in this review. The Art the Clown in this movie is the funniest and scariest he's ever been. From scenes when he sees Santa through the window and he walks past him and runs back to him and is like, I see Santa! Like a kid. Like, I mean, he didn't say that obviously, but like a kid. And then that's probably my favorite kill of the movie is the liquid nitrogen kill, because anytime something like that happens with the liquid nitrogen, before he even starts hammering away literally at the body, that can get under my skin. Again, I can handle gore, guys. I love gore, but sometimes the way it's administered, just no. And Art the Clown, honestly at this point, probably the last slasher I would want to be killed by. Slasher I'd want to be fucked with the least is Freddy Krueger. As far as being actually massacred by, Art the Clown is the last one on the list. Well, that's my ranking of these movies. I think that the third one has great gore, but not good story. The second one has great gore and a great story, and the third one has a good story, great gore, and the Christmas aesthetic. All of that combined for Terrifier 3 makes Terrifier 3 my number one. Well, this is the first ranking I've done, guys. How do you think I did? I think I did pretty good, to be honest. If you think I did good and you made it to the end of this video, please consider subscribing and liking and sharing and all that fun, wonderful stuff. This is Haunted by Horror, where every season is horror movie season. I'm Kyle Bedian. Agent out.